Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm trying something a little bit different here with my camera. I'm actually using my phone as my camera. So we'll see how this works. The phone is actually communicating with OBS over Wi-Fi. So I'm curious to see if it even looks good. Hey Stefan, what's up, man? How are you? Let me know how the video quality is, Stefan, because I'm nothing much. Be aging right now? What are you saying? You joined the channel. You did join the channel, so thank you, Stefan. I appreciate you signing up to be a member. Very appreciate you. Finally got you some money. Yeah, I've never actually received a payment from YouTube. I think you have to get to like $100, and I've never reached the $100 mark before. So I'm still waiting on my first YouTube payment. It's funny because when I actually started making YouTube content, the partner thing, what the YouTube partner program, it wasn't a thing. Like any channel could really be monetized. Like I had AdSense on my original YouTube channel um, for a long time, and then they introduced the new monetization rules, and I lost monetization on that channel. And then I haven't had monetization until this year when I started making content on here. You're eating right now? Okay. Yeah. Eating sounds good. I'm drinking coffee, but eating sounds good. How are you, Butterscotch? Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. Actually, let me throw the chat up on screen because I kind of like that. And yeah, here we go. I'm gonna get our Tuesday started. The camera probably looks a little different because I'm actually using my phone. So my phone is connected to my Wi-Fi, and then OBS has a plugin that connects to my phone over the network. And then now that's all being streamed to YouTube. So I'm curious how well this is going to work. I was just kind of curious, like, I don't know. I get curious and want to tinker with the technology. Quality is great. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. I don't know how much. Let's see. I'm gonna see what the battery life is on my phone. Hello, Jen. Me after 10 years still waiting for yeah, the horizontal stream. Yes. I tried the horizontal stream and the vertical stream at the same time when we were at my apartment, and it just crushed my network. Like the quality of the streams, like I don't know. I don't think my internet could keep up with it. But maybe here at the new place, we could try again. I just wanted to see how much battery was actually on my phone before it dies. So if the camera does die in the middle of the stream, that's why. Because because my phone died. I can always switch to my other camera though. It's no big deal. Well, here we go. All right. Work's kind of popping off this morning. You guys ever have days like that where it just seems like everybody needs something, because that's the day that I'm having. Isn't that called Droid Cam or something? Yeah, Droid Cam is what I'm using. Yeah. Like last night, I was laying in bed and was like, you know what? I wonder if I could use my phone as a camera. Because normally I just use my big like Sony A6500 camera, which I think connected over like connected as a webcam. I'm not sure what the quality's like, but I'm like, man, I have these really nice cell phones that have really nice cameras. I was like, can I use that to stream with? You know, just curious, really just out of curiosity. Um, I also think it's kind of interesting to think of the ability. Could I have the stream running here on my machine? So could I have the stream running here in OBS? And if my phone's connected over Wi-Fi, could I then sort of be mobile? Like, could I take my phone and go, to the gym, right, in the garage, or could I go upstairs and get an espresso and it all still work? So we might, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways to make the stream um more interesting, at least during office hours. I also realized today that uh on my current computer, I have no way of opening Excel files, which I feel like is something you should probably have on your computer these days. So I've been uploading things to Google Drive and then opening the Excel sheets in Google Drive, but that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I think maybe I'll install like Open Office or something. I think I pay for Microsoft Office actually. Gotta fix some old laptop right now with broken screen. I really don't want to do it, but damn. So why do you have to fix it? If it's an old laptop, why do you have to do anything with it? Why can't you just like let it die? Like just let it live. just let just let it live with a broken screen forever. I actually repurposed an old MacBook Air as a Linux server, and it's working pretty well. It took a minute to get it connected to Wi-Fi. That was kind of a pain in the ass, but oh, you said yeah, if you gave him your word, I feel you, man. It has Windows 8.1. Oh my god. Windows 8 was terrible. So let me tell you about my experience with Windows 8. My grandma liked computers, and she was an older lady, my mom's mom. And she always had a computer, and I sort of functioned as like IT help for her computer. And we upgraded her computer and not realizing that the new computer we bought her came with Windows 8. Oh man, that was rough, right? That was rough because Windows 8 was when Microsoft sort of thought like tablets were going to eat the world. So they took a really opinionated approach with the way they did the UI, and it was completely different than everything before it. And yeah, I just remember, like, I remember just ha- it was so painful to get out of the tile interface and back to the old school like Windows Start menu appearance. Like to configure it to look that way or operate that way was such a pain in the butt. Yeah, Windows 8 was a mistake. It was a mistake. And I think Microsoft would admit that today. Windows 8 was a mistake. I gotta ask though, Stefan, if you're gonna reboot this old laptop, are you gonna put Linux on it? Like wipe Windows and put Linux on it and be like, hey, I fixed your screen. Also, I got you a better OS. Can you help me in deciding a research topic in domains like OS, compilers, automation for my university? I'm kind of leaning towards automation. I think automation's interesting. What kind of automation though, Butterscotch? Are you thinking like business process automation type things? 8 was trash, but 8.1 was perfection other than start. Yeah, the start menu was just so bad. The start menu was just awful in 8. Hey, what's up, Wilo Gamer Pro? How are you? Not in the kitchen. No, I'm not in the kitchen today. I'm in the office, and I'm actually using a little bit different of a setup. So this actually might. So the experiment I'm running today is I basically have OBS running on my machine, right, which is connected to my local network. Then I have an app and a plugin that's running in OBS, and then an app that's running on my phone called DroidCam. And so like I can tell it's a little laggy right now. It's a little laggy, but the camera and the plugin in OBS are talking over Wi-Fi. It's kind of interesting. So my thought is, could I make this work where the stream runs on OBS, but my camera is sort of like is kind of remote, where I could like I could take my phone, take the camera really anywhere in the house, but still have OBS be the one that's like streaming the video or streaming the stream to YouTube. I don't know if it'll really work that well, but that's what I'm testing out this morning during office hours. He doesn't know how to use it. Oh, so you can't put Linux on it? Well, you could put Linux on it and teach him. That could be part of your Linux evangelism, is teaching your neighbor how to use Linux. Finally gonna master Stripe. Oh man, I don't know. Like, so the Stripe thing is interesting. It seems pretty straightforward. However, after the stream, when I got off the stream, I was looking at my Stripe dashboard to see if like there was logs or like if basically to see if there was any artifacts of like a successful test payment. And when I went into my Stripe dashboard, I don't see any of that testing that I did yesterday using the Stripe API. I don't see any evidence of that. And I double checked my API keys. I was using all the right API keys. So I was looking at the right account. So I don't really know. So I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time just exploring how it all works. Like I probably need to sit down on a horizontal with a horizontal screen, 2 monitors, and really dig in. But for the most part, I have a pretty good mental model of how it works. So essentially, you have a publishable key that goes on your front end. You have a private key that goes on your back end. If you want to do a custom payment flow, which is kind of what I want to do, where you kind of are in control of the payment flow a little bit more. You have to have a form. When that form loads or when the user initiates a payment, you have to make a call to the Stripe API to initialize a payment intent. That payment intent hands you back a secret, which you then pass to the front end. The front end then communicates using that secret. They communicate directly with Stripe to confirm the payment, make the payment, confirm the payment. When that confirmation is successful, Stripe redirects them to whatever redirect URL you've provided. Then on your back end, you can have a webhook configured. So you have to implement a webhook and then configure that in the Stripe dashboard. But then you can have a webhook that essentially listens for events associated with that payment. So like with credit cards, the payment succeeds like almost instantaneously. But with things like bank drafts, like ACHs, they can take a couple days. So then you just have to listen on your back end for when the payment succeeds or the payment fails and respond accordingly to that. So I think I could make this simpler if I did one of their other payment flows. Like if I just let Stripe handle the checkout page and all that, I can make it even simpler. But I kind of want the knowledge and the understanding of how to do a custom payments flow, because I just imagine if I can do the most difficult implementation, then the easier pass will not feel very daunting. So I think what I'm going to use it for, hey Pablo, what's up? I think I'm kind of talking here, ignoring you guys. Stefan also had to get files back up, which was a pain. Wow, he had 300 gigabytes of files. That's crazy. Hey Pablo, how are you? Journey World. Hello, Journey World. Destroy. Double tap the screen to debug. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the Stripe API. So I think what I'm going to build with Stripe is I'm going to recreate the Buy Me a Coffee page, but like my own personal version of it. So basically, there'll be a landing page. There'll be a place where somebody can like submit a form that has like a name and a message, and then they'll be able to elect like a price of a coffee. They'll be able to click a buy button or like a donate, button. That button will then enter them into the Stripe payment flow. And then that page will show people that have bought a coffee for me. And then I think initially I'll just use the Stripe dashboard for like my administration functions of like seeing like what payments came through and that kind of information. Because if you guys have ever used that website, Buy Me a Coffee, they have like a whole administration suite of tools. But I think just to get started with, I'm just gonna like do the payment or the donation functionality. Not that I actually expect people to use this. It's not like I expect people to actually buy me a coffee. I just want to build a project that has like a real world use case for accepting payments from people over the internet. Not so fetch. Are you a developer? So in my free time, I guess I would say I'm like a hobbyist web developer. But my my day job, I work as a quality engineer. So I do manual and automated testing for a web application. But in my free time and on my YouTube channel and on streams and stuff, I like to build things. I like to build things mostly in TypeScript, mostly in C#. Most of it's web development or like CLI tools, things like that. Whatever's kind of interesting me at any particular moment. I know at some point I probably should take like a side quest down the mobile development rabbit hole, but I haven't taken that plunge yet. That's amazing. Is that your major in college? I studied computer engineering. Oh, very cool. No, this is all self-taught. So I'm a 32-year-old dad of two. So I'm kind of 10 years into my career now at this point. And I've had, I guess in 10 years, I've had two or three careers. But my college degree was in biochemistry. See you, Pablo. Let's see, you left me something in Discord. Oh, thank you very much, Pablo. I will take a look. Also, we have a new Discord member. Let's see, general. Oh, thank you very much. Pablo, you're the man. If you guys don't know, I do have a Discord channel. That's what Pablo is talking about, or Discord server. Discord. I'll put the link in the chat here. Discord.stephenfreeborn.com, and that'll take you to the right place. Oh, thank you, Pablo, for the resource. That was really good. How long have you been in tech or coding? So my first job in tech was in 2020. I started as a support analyst, and then I slowly just kind of worked my way into the product side, more technical roles, just through upskilling myself. So everything I know is self-taught at this point. Let's see. Wow, biochemistry is so different from what you're doing now. Yeah, it's very different. And then before I worked in tech, I was actually a research and development food scientist for a large frozen food manufacturer here in the U.S. So yeah, I've had multiple careers over the last 10, 15 years for sure. How did you learn how to code? What field do you think is the most requested? I'm kind of lost. So I learned how to code. Let's see, not so fetch. I learned how to code from this website. It's Free Codecamp. If you've never heard of it, that's where you should start. I think it's a great place to start. Even if you're not maybe wanting to be in web development, I think it's a good way to get your feet wet. As far as like a field, I think you should pick the field you're interested in. Obviously, if you're not living under a rock, you know how big of a deal generative AI is in the tech sphere. So I would say if you have any interest in learning Python and maybe getting involved in machine learning or generative AI in any way, that might be that's in demand at the moment. Power of prayer. I feel bad that most good men are taken. You seem like a good and genuine one. Yeah, yeah, I'm happily married. I try to be a good and genuine guy for sure. Crydy TV. Well. Good afternoon, chumps. Hello, Crydy TV. That's a nice way to enter the chat there. Power of prayer. Best wishes. Thank you very much. Agreed. He really seems like a nice man. I try to be nice. I try to show up on the internet the same way I show up in real life. I don't really believe in the whole like two different personas things. How did you like it as a support analyst? Did you find it challenging? Yeah, support analyst was great. I mean, it was um it was interesting because the company I work for builds a product that is very no code, low code, right? So it's highly configurable. It's kind of like developing, but using a GUI to do development, right? If you're familiar with like products like NAN, right? The like business process automation tools, that's very much the type of software that I was supporting. And so a lot of my job wasn't like handling frustrated customers because the software wasn't working. It was much more like working with customers to figure out the best way to implement a solution using the software, which was a lot of fun, right? So it was kind of in that like development vein, which made support fun. It was super challenging because customers all have different, um, challenges and requirements and, you know, all those sorts of things. He seems really chill. I can be chill most of the time. Although if you talk to my kids, they'll tell you I do get grumpy dad syndrome every now and again. Thank you so much. Of course, man. Happy to help. You reckon IT management roles will be replaced by AI? I don't know. I honestly don't know how deep down the stack AI will be. I mean, when you think about what like IT has to do in terms of like, you know, in my brain, I think a lot about like IT is really that layer where technology and the physical world interface a lot of times, right? I mean, IT is in a lot of cases they're the ones who are like physically managing digital or technical assets, right? They're like going to data centers, they're in the servers, they're setting things up, they're configuring networks, they're running cables. Like there's a physical aspect to their work. Like I understand like some IT jobs are less physical than others, but there's a physical aspect to their work that I'm not sure like AI would be able to replace unless AI can be embodied in like some sort of robotic form, right? And I think I think we're far from that, in my opinion. Like in terms of like IT management being obsolete, right? Like I think we're probably 20, 30 years away, and in 20 or 30 years I won't care cuz I'll be done working. Or fingers crossed, I if I play my cards right, I should be done having to work by then in 20, 30 years. Destroy. I doubt it. Second, human oversight will always be needed. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Um, yeah, AI will. Yeah, I think AI will help everyone scale their abilities and their productivity for sure. Steven, I'm doing something very similar. I'm struggling 3+ years in. I don't know what else to do. Maybe coding isn't the right direction. Uh, yeah, that's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, it all depends on like why you are learning to code. Like if you're, excuse me, if you're learning to code because you're like trying to get a job in that, but then you're finding out you hate coding or you hate programming, you don't get enjoyment, and it's difficult to get a job, well then, yeah, that I think that's all just faulty from the jump. Um, for me, I started learning to program and code just out of pure interest and enjoyment, and it just happened to be that I got a job that those skills were actually really useful and I could like leverage them into more opportunities. Um, but only you really know, like, given your context, where you are in life, what your circumstances are, only you really know whether or not you should give up on whatever path you've chosen, right? It's really hard to give advice and input without knowing, like, do you have a family? Are you supporting other people? Are people dependent on an income? Do you need a job? Health insurance? All those things, right? It's difficult to give good advice. I can just kind of speak to what I think, like the how I would make decisions for myself in my life, and maybe that's helpful for you or helps you kind of form a good mental model. But yeah, it's tough. I thought this was a short. Hello, Artwork Studios. Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's a long short if it is indeed a short. Seconds. If let's say it's like moving towards cloud environment and handled via cloud is what I'm saying. Oh, uh, I mean, I guess there will be some automation. I mean, so much of, I mean, if you're doing cloud based Like if your infrastructure is all hosted in the cloud or someone else's cloud, like best practices nowadays is to automate most of it, right? So like you're writing Terraform or you're writing some flavor of infrastructure as code, which yeah, for sure AI could help automate that. And at least I think AI will function for those jobs the same way it's going to function for developer jobs, right? It's going to be a force multiplier. I don't know if it's necessarily going to replace those people, but definitely will enhance what any one individual can accomplish or do. I'm currently trying to make a better PHP, but Big O is crying at me for loop if staircase. Why why do you feel the need to reinvent PHP? Hey Sogo, what's up? Steven for president? No, nobody. I mean, nobody should want that job. You know, I was at lunch with some coworkers, and we were saying that anybody who wants anybody who wants that job, we should be suspicious of them. Hey, what's up, Arvin? How are you? Gun Heist. Hey, my dude. Have a good day. Gun Heist. Thank you, man. I always really appreciate it when people stop into the stream and they just like drop a nice comment. It's very, very kind. Um, and I see you. I see you, those of you who do that. Ramsey, hello. Hello, Ramsey. How are you? Good to see you, man. I don't think I've seen you here in my chat before, but good to have you. Hope you're doing well. I didn't really learn Go much. I just assume how to write Go and ask ChatGPT for specific functions and ideas. I mean, that's a valid way to program nowadays. Because that's basically what learning to code is. It's just instead of asking Google and clicking through a bunch of Stack Overflows, now you can talk to ChatGPT. So I don't think there's anything wrong with approaching it that way. May not be the most efficient way or maybe effective way to learn, but I think you can definitely learn to code that way. Steven, I mentioned you in Discord. Check out my banner. Steven for President 2029. Hold on, let me see. What do you think about my banner? Yeah, I think your banner is great, man. Love it. Welcome to your new network. I love it. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna run for president, but I think you have to be 34, right, to run for president. I'm 32 now, which makes the next election cycles in 2028. So I wouldn't be eligible to run for president until 2032, I think. Gunhighs, love your B shirt. It looks awesome. Oh man, this B shirt, I've had this for fuck. It's got a hole in it somewhere. I've had this shirt for since high school. I actually think it was originally so my little brother, he's 2 years younger than me. This was one of his friend's t-shirts that got left at our house. I was probably like a junior in high school or something like that. Yeah, I've had this for a really, really long time. I don't know why this didn't make it back to my brother's friend, but somehow it ended up in our closets and I've had it ever since. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I kind of hate spending money on clothes. I like nice clothes, but I hate how much nice clothes cost, which means I don't spend money on clothes. I'm fine. How about you? I'm great, man. Yeah, life's good. Life's good. Everyone's healthy. Life is doing good. Man, why YouTube short live algorithm is so random? I don't know, honestly. I think YouTube is working very hard to make YouTube shorts a thing. And so I think they're trying a lot of different stuff. I also think they're very invested in getting people to stream on their platform, particularly I think stream vertically on their platform. So I think and I don't think there are a lot of people who are doing that. Like I don't think there are a lot of creators who are streaming vertically, and so it's likely they're like scraping the bottom of the barrel and like, hey, this guy, throw him in there. If I had to guess. Gunhigh's long-term t-shirts are best. Yeah, long-term t-shirts that like feel better after every wash are the best kind of t-shirts. There are those t-shirts that have like that are really poor quality that like after the first time you wash them, you just want to throw it away. But yeah, if you can hold on to a t-shirt and it's comfortable after 150 washes, it's a good t-shirt. For sure. Coffee candies? What kind of coffee candy are you eating? Coffee in general is addictive. Hey, what's up, MD? How are you? Really sweet coffee candied. I'm so is it candy that's coffee flavored, or is this coffee that you've sweetened to the point that it tastes like candy? Because I think both of those things are plausible. Also, Steven, so far my lang not bad. You mean your reinvented PHP? Randy, they already taken our data for years, but somehow still messed up short live algorithm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I don't know. So like, I think it's because they're trying to figure out the TikTok like algorithm, right? Like, for a long time, social content was based on a network, right? It was like even YouTube. I think a lot of times your subscriptions, the way they figured out content to recommend you was looking at what you were subscribed to and trying to recommend similar channels with similar content. And I think now they're trying to figure out the TikTok approach, right? Which is like, how do I make your feed completely interest driven? And how do I like in real time when you interact with a video or stay on a video longer, how do I then, you know what I mean? Like I mean I'm assuming you guys use TikTok, but I think that's what they're trying to do with the shorts algorithm. And I'm guessing it's kind of hard. So we'll see if they get it worked out. But from a creator perspective, like right now, in my opinion, from a creator perspective on YouTube, it really makes very little sense to make like horizontal, like proper YouTube videos because the discoverability for them is just very poor. Like it just like I can make one short that's 20 seconds long that gets 1,000 views, or I could spend time making a 10-minute tutorial that gets 20. Um, and so it's just very clear that like the platform is pushing creators to make short form vertical content and live streams, and kind of the rest be damned at the moment. Um, which I still primarily just continue to make content the type of content that I want to make when I want to make it. But I can't help but look at my analytics and be like, yeah, there's a there's really no reason to like if you were really wanting to grow your YouTube channel, there's not a whole lot of reason to invest in really high quality, really high polished horizontal videos as a way to grow your channel. It's just not gonna do it. Like I think the only reason why my subscriber count is where it's at is because of live streaming. Um, the vast majority of subscribers I get come from live streams, which is pretty crazy. Which also though, if you think about it, also kind of makes sense, right? Because um, the shorts feed is probably great for people exploring and finding new content, but longer form video, I'm guessing most people either they watch longer form video of content creators they already know and like and are subscribed to, or they go to longer form content because they're trying to get an answer to some question, right? They're trying to figure out how to do something, or they're trying to learn about something very particular, right? It's very search driven. So I think it kind of makes sense from a content creator perspective, but it also kind of sucks if you're not somebody who wants to do live streaming, or if you're not somebody who wants to make short form vertical video. Do you want to know what's basic site layout? I don't know what you're talking about, Artwork Studios. I'm not playing TikTok. I'm afraid with their algorithm, it's just too good. Man, their algorithm is exceptional. The thing that's really surprising to me about the TikTok algorithm, what's really surprising to me about the TikTok algorithm is how quickly it responds to my interests, right? So like I can I can linger or interact with a certain type of video this afternoon and like all of a sudden I see tons more videos with that kind of content. Yeah, it's to me it's wild how quickly it seems like they can swap to serving you different types of content based on your most recent interaction in their app. It's wild. And the content on TikToks is great. Like people are hilarious. It's good. It's good. It's good. It makes uh it makes a lot of sense why Mr. Oracle would want to be involved with it. Basic site layout looks way too much like ASM. I'm gonna send in Discord. Oh wait, I can DM you. Send in Discord so you can understand better. What are you trying to tell me? Let me see. Oh, you're talking about your reinvented PHP. Okay. Yeah, like honestly though, that type of syntax for describing a page, I'm not a big fan of myself. There's a lot, and there are existing template languages like that where you can say, "Oh, my H1." Like I just prefer good old JSX, good old markup. Keep it simple. The one free man. Hello, Noku. How are you? Good to see you. How you been? I hope I'm not the only free man. I hope there's more free men in the world than just me. I'm really surprised. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream that I'm trying out a different camera setup, but I'm really surprised with how well the camera has held up on stream. I thought it was going to be super laggy, right? I thought like streaming video from my camera to my local machine over Wi-Fi and then streaming that to YouTube. I thought the quality and the connection was going to be sus, and it's actually worked really well. Randy, I'm trying to increase my attention time. Watching TikTok would destroy my attention time. Yeah, TikTok will do that. Yeah, TikTok will suck you down a rabbit hole. Doesn't take much. I'm just too lazy to learn the parser ChatGPT gave me. Well, there you go. Let's see. I've been dying juggling Kuleg with music conservatory stuff. What about you? What's Kuleg? Kuleg? Well, I hope you're not really dying. Yeah, I hope life slows down for you a little bit. But yeah, I'm good, man. Life is good. No complaints here, you know. Excuse me. Oh, it's how I call college. It's a it's a particular reference. Yeah, I don't know Undertale. What is Undertale? Is that like um anime? Undertale is a 2015 role-playing video game created by American indie dev Toby Fox. Huh, never heard of this. Well, yeah, well I'm glad college is keeping you busy, but I hope it's not too overwhelming. Do you think reading books is the best way to increase attention time? When you say attention time, I'm guessing you're saying that you're just trying to improve the amount of time that you can spend like focused, right? Like engaged with one particular thing. I don't necessarily think you have to read books. I mean, I think it could be any activity, right? Like you could sit down and have a 4 hour long coding sesh. I think attention and focus is largely a function out of interest. And so if you're not super interested in something, it's very hard to give it your focus and attention. Definitely a skill you can develop, right? To focus on things that you're not necessarily interested in. But yeah, I think a lot of the times our issues with focus or attention come from not being interested in whatever the thing is we're doing at that moment in time. How did you never? You are officially old. I I'm definitely old, I think, for YouTube. I'm 32. Although, like, I look around a lot. I mean, Casey Neistat was 34 when he started his daily vlog. So I guess I'm not that old, but I guess I just feel old being with most of the people I interact with on YouTube all seem to be much, much younger than me. Oh, Undertale has good music? Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Toby Fox. I've never heard of that guy. Toby Fox. I'm guessing I should know who he is. Oh, he's like similar my age. He was born 1991. That must be so cool to create something that has this much success. I'm reading about it. But it must be cool to be a creator like that in any field, right? Game development, right? An author, whatever it is. It must be very cool to have that type of success in something. He's a legend. Learnt arrays and revolutionized that type of game. Interesting. So I have to. So is this a? Hold on. Uh, how do you play Undertale? Is that just a PC only game? Or is it Undertale for Switch? Oh, you can get on the Xbox? I guess I should probably... I mostly play games on my Xbox. It's like $15. Interesting. Yeah, this isn't at all the type of game. Like I'm looking at the screenshots. This isn't at all the type of game that I would play usually, but if you guys say it's as good as it is, his code is a little questionable. Well, isn't all of our code a little questionable? Questionable code is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if my English is hardly to understand because English. No, don't even. The thing is, you guys, like I've had multiple people on stream apologize to me about like how good their English is, and first of all, your English and theirs is better than probably a lot of English speakers, native English speakers. And second of all, you guys should never apologize. I mean, as Americans, we're so entitled. We only speak English, right? There's like no forcing function to learn another language. And yet other people in other countries are sort of in a lot of ways forced to not only they're forced to be bilingual, like they have to learn their native language and then they're almost forced to learn English just because of how like widely adopted it is for so many industries and fields. So you should never you shouldn't apologize. And then first of all, your English is totally fine. Destroy it runs, don't it? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand the reference. Man, I had a filling. I guess I had two fillings fixed like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago now, or a week ago. When was that? I don't know. It was pretty recent. But man, my teeth still hurt. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago now. It was on the 17th. Coded. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Destroy. That went like way over my head. It runs, don't it? Exactly, yeah. It works. I mean, and that is honestly though that is the truth. If you're building software by yourself for yourself or even for end users and you're the only one contributing and maintaining that code, that honestly is like that is the benchmark. Like it works. Like it accomplishes the goal. It satisfies the requirement. Like how ugly or pretty it is really just a like how much does it bother you if it's ugly or how much does it bother you if it's hard to maintain, right? Um, like maintainable pretty code is really only a thing if you intend to work on the code with other humans, you know? Because even AI, I mean, AI doesn't, generative AI doesn't give a shit how pretty your code is. um, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. Dave Deadly, I'm not interested in talking about that, so I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Hope you have a nice day, man. We're not really interested in discussing that stuff. Well, I only have about a few more minutes here on stream before I wrap up for the morning. I think I'm gonna plan on I'm gonna plan on trying to stream this afternoon. And actually, I kind of so I think this afternoon what I'm gonna start working on is I had this idea for a series of videos where we basically walk through implementing like a very simplistic AI agent. And I think this afternoon I'm gonna work through like the different code that I'm gonna write in each video in the series. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing this afternoon on stream. So if you're around, stop in. But yeah, there's this whole like AI agent hype, and I just would like to make some videos that sort of like clarify or demystify or just kind of like there's nothing all that powerful. Like AI agents can be powerful, but there's not a ton of like complexity complexity to them really. Like the core concept is pretty straightforward, and I think there's a lot of marketing hype that surrounds them, you know. Um, so I think I'm going to make a series of videos where I just go through and like implement kind of a very simplistic agent um, using C# and .NET and like a small console app. So I think that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I think something's wrong because on my screen I don't see any new messages. Weird. Well, the stream's only going for another 4 minutes or 3 minutes at this point, so should be good. Ramsey, I learned English mostly from communication, so if I ask to write, it will be so messed up. No worries at all, man. I would just I don't think people who learn English as a second language should ever feel bad or apologize. Like the 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 privileged English speaker who has not gone out of their way to learn any other language should be the one that's apologizing if they can't understand you. Excuse me. All right, well, shall we say our goodbyes? Wow, see, my code base now is 161 lines. Well, look at you. You've been hammering. You've been super productive during this hour. Me, not so much. Golang was actually fun to use. Yeah, I think it's a fun language. I think it's a straightforward language, you know? I think that's what makes it so popular. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off for the day. Like I said, I'll be around this afternoon. I'll probably be working on. Yeah, I probably won't be building anything per se, but I think I'll just be kind of working through what code I'd like to present in other content that I'm gonna make. So I will probably be writing some code, but it'll be much more. Be much more exploratory than like a concrete thing that I'm building. I think I'm going to call it something like an AI agent in a single file or something like that. That's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm out of here, guys. See you, Ramsey. See you, Arvin. See our Studios. Of course, yeah. I'll keep trying to be consistent and regular with my streams, and I appreciate you guys coming back to hang out and say hi. And yeah, it's always nice to have some familiar faces here. All right, guys. Bye. Have a good day. Oops. Bye. Now really bye.